Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. I've seen lots over the last few days of chat and talk around Tesla, especially on some stock investing forums and chat rooms. And this is going to be a great example of buy on fear and sell on greed. What do I mean by that? Well, there's so many people now jumping in at probably what might be its peak. Who knows? It could continue a lot higher. None of us can predict the future movement of Tesla after the stock split, etc., etc. But it's a great example of people will jump in. The price could now drop, and then they'll panic sell because they're going to see their investment or whatever devalue, and then that's when people will buy on fear. And I've just done a book recommendation on my Instagram story, which is this book. If you want the link, drop me a DM. It's not my book, but it is very, very useful. And it will touch on things like this with trading and the emotional side and the challenges that we all face with it. So I remember one of the first stocks I bought. It was an oil company called Gulf Keystone Petroleum. Some of you hopefully might have heard of that. And I doubled my money. That stock ended up going up about 2,000%. And then people who bought at the top continued to tell themselves that it's going to go higher and higher and higher, and then it didn't, and it fell through the floor. So that's not going to happen with this, I'm sure. It's just an example of when do we sell, when do we buy. Ultimately, that's down to your strategy and your own execution of that strategy. But how we handle the trades when we're in them is very important. And our human brain and our primal instinct is one to remove ourselves from danger, suffering, pain, all of that stuff. And we need to rewire our brains. And this is where this book helps, because our subconscious mind is what's doing most of your thinking and decision making, and we need to make sure we reprogram. That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? That in some ways to help you become successful and break down and change some of them limiting beliefs that you have, and ultimately enable you to trade more freely. So a previous trade or a string of previous trades need not affect your decision making process in that next trade. You shouldn't be entering that trade with fear. And ultimately, if those emotional challenges are posing themselves on you, i.e., checking your trades in the middle of the night, or worrying about them, or being angry or depressed if something doesn't go your way, then you are risking too much. And again, that book helps touch on it. But Tesla, is it going to go up or down? Nobody knows. Ultimately, risk what you can afford to lose in this instance if you are jumping on the bandwagon. But ultimately, our strategy helps as well with people that are trading options, stocks, or investing. Something that I'm keen to talk about with people. So if you're doing that currently, let me know, because hopefully we can add some value to what you do. Because ultimately, what you can see here with our strategy is a buy on Tesla at 1501, and we're at 2049 right now. And we will watch and see if we do get rejection and a sell, and that can be used to spread bet CFD trade Tesla as well. But yeah, learn to manage your mindset, learn to manage your risk. And I think I do go on about it in this forum and in this environment because I see so many people jumping on trades and trade ideas on here, which isn't ultimately constructive. I know that's what it's there for. But if it's not confluent with your plans and your own strategy, you don't know what you're jumping into. And then if you're chasing that big win, it's going to end in tears. It might not end in tears straight away. You might get something that we call beginner's luck, and then we think we're invincible. So most challenges we face in trading, I believe, are after a winning run. As soon as we start to believe that we're invincible, that we get a little bit cocky, a little bit overconfident, that's when you get into some challenges. So always stay grounded, keep your feet on the ground, focus on a good trade every trade. And that might be a trade that hits your stop loss, it doesn't matter. It's about making sure it's in line with your plan, your strategy, and your risk management. hopefully that helps. If you want the link to that book, drop me a direct message.